today what I want to talk with you about as far as your learning objectives. So what do I want you to get out of this video? Well, when it comes to bullying, I want you to know what you can do. If you are being bullied, I want you to know some options that you have to help yourself in that situation. Also, we're going to talk about the effects of bullying, consequences. So how does it affect someone that is being bullied and vice versa, the person who is the bully? What are the consequences to that? Peer pressure. Let's talk about what it is. How does it coincide with bullying? Again, and what are the effects of peer pressure? Then social media. Let's talk about social media cyberbullying because it all goes hand in hand. But we're also going to talk about some etiquettes. So some things you can do to keep yourself safe online, okay? So give me again a second and we can get right into it. So I hope you have your soda or your chips because we're just going to have a conversation. I want to sit down and just talk with you. Let's just real talk and let's see how we can work this thing out, okay? Hello and welcome to another session of Smart Girls. My name is Miss Brandy. I'm coming to you from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater St. Louis. Today we get to talk about bullying, peer pressure, and social media literacy. Let's follow me and we can go on and have a little bit of fun and have a conversation. See you in a second. So what is bullying? Well, in a nutshell, it's picking on folks. Stop picking on folks. But, okay, let me paint a little bit of a bigger picture for you, okay? So I don't want to just say picking on folks, but that's really, bottom line, that's really what it is. But bullying is picking on someone who you feel you can intimidate, right? Somebody you know that's probably not going to stand up to you, or someone, let me use this word, you're assuming won't stand up to you, or you're assuming has some type of fear towards you, and you use that as an intimidation factor. So this can be, again, bullying physically, meaning we're face to face and you're bullying. We can do this on the phone. We can do this, with our friends snarling from the other end of the room type stuff, snickering and kiki and cackling at each other, how we do. Social media, and again, we'll get into that. We'll get into what social media bullying is, or what they call cyber media bullying. So let's talk about what you should do if you become a person who is being bullied. So here's some options, right? You can walk away. That's probably the best option. Just walk away. I know that we're in a time where you all feel like that's the punk thing to do, if you will. You feeling like I'm a punk if I walk away. No, you're not. You're saving yourself a whole lot of trouble. Let people be who they're going to be. Let them clown. Walk away. Because it's not that serious, right? It's just not that serious. Don't put yourself in a situation where you have to prove yourself. Because usually in a bullying situation, you're not the one that needs to prove yourself. It's the bully who's trying to prove themselves. So walk away, But say walking away doesn't work. Say they come after you. Say, they're doing whatever they're doing. You can always flip the script. If you somebody like me, I was bullied when I was young. I also, though, learned how to joan, as y'all call it. So what I would do is flip the script. I start joning back, and I'll make the joke for myself. So in other words, if I put it out there for myself, you can't attack me with it. You can't make me feel small about what you were attempting to do. So again, that's another way of doing it. Just making a joke. Again, if that's not your style, totally understand. But it's ways of doing that, because usually bullies have an audience, right? The other thing, though, I want to make sure, regardless to what you choose, these are just a few options. Make sure you tell somebody. Again, I know we are living in a time of snitches get stitches. We gotta be bigger than that, right? We have to grow up. We have to come into a point where we're okay with making sure that everybody around us is okay, right? So if your friend not okay and your friend getting bullied, go with your friend to go tell. It's okay. It's really okay. We need to know that we can support each other and that we won't allow each other to pick and attack each other, right? So when you start standing up, you start to minimize the bullying, right? So that's bullying. Effects and consequences of bullying. what we do know is when someone is being bullied, like I said, it's an intimidation factor. What happens when you do that to someone? When someone is being bullied, it forces them to withdraw in, meaning they start to remove themselves from things that they normally do. You know, they no longer want to hang around their friends anymore. They no longer want to be a part of the crowds or, you know, do regular normal activities because the fear of, I'm going to come across this person. So say this person is at school. You know, you are in class with the person that you've been bullied with. So you find yourself trying to make sure you sit way over there on the other side of the class, or, you know, you try to make sure you're not seen so the person don't have nothing to say, or, you know, because a bully always has an audience. As I said, a bully is going to find an audience to make you feel away. What we also know, though, is even if you don't shy away, or you do shy away, but then let's say you go home. You get home and now you're thinking about it. Now you're thinking about what they said to you. And you look funny. You fat. You skinny. Your teeth big. You know, you start internalizing. You start feeding this to yourself and you start to believe what they're saying. And it's not true. It's not true. It's what you think about yourself, right? But again, these are the effects of bullying. This is someone pouring into you very negative things, and it starts to make you feel this little about yourself, okay? We don't want that. We also know that, and we have seen as well in this time, bullying has gotten so bad that children are starting to commit suicide because of this. That's a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a problem, okay? So what I'm saying to you, Miss Brandy, we don't do that. That's not how we roll. That is not how we roll. That's not how smart girls roll. That's not how smart guys roll. Passport to manhood. That's not what we do. We're bigger than that. We're better than that. And we have to show the world that. So how do we do that? We treat people like we want to be treated, right? That's how this works. So what are the consequences of bullying? Well, one, if it gets to that point where someone has gotten to the point where they committed suicide, you could potentially be held liable for that on a legal level. That's a whole nother situation. But not even that. It starts to kill your self-esteem at that point. Now it starts to force you to deal with self and what you have going on in the inside. What would make someone else feel that little? That's not cool. Okay? So the consequences of this, again, you now, because you were the bully, you've now, and because of the effects that you put on someone else, you can now start to feel those effects. It then changes the game, right? So we don't want that. So let's make sure we avoid being bullies, okay? We smart girls. We're smart guys. So now we're talking about peer pressure. And peer pressure really does go along with bullying, right? There are some similarities or some things that join together when you start to talk about peer pressure and then when you start to talk about bullying. But what is peer pressure? Peer pressure, me and my peer, right? Someone next to me, and not next to me physically, but you know what I'm saying. But I am trying to coerce or force or put the pressure on them to do something, typically negative. That's why they call it peer pressure. Now, there could be some positive peer pressure. There are those moments where, like bullying, when you become the person that can stop the bullying. You know, come on, we're not doing it. You can still do peer pressure that way. But let's talk about it from the negative standpoint. Peer pressure is, hey, man, you want to go out and skip school? Nah, we not skipping school. We not skipping school, but that's peer pressure. Everybody around you, it's 5 of y'all. Your homies, you know, you, Tyrone, you know, Keisha, you know, all of y'all together. And Keisha say, nah, I'm good. I got a test to take. You know, Keisha coming up with excuses because Keisha really don't want to do it. Well, guess what? With peer pressure, you don't have to do it. You don't have to come up with an excuse. Just don't do it. Move on. And if you get to the point where your friends are peer pressuring you to the point where you feel like you have to, that means it's time to start reevaluating who you hang out with. that means these are not your friends, right? Because friends help each other. Friends lift each other. When one is down, I'm gonna help you get back up, right? If one is wherever, we gonna make sure at all times we doing this. I'm gonna pull you, you gonna pull me. It's gonna be days I can do it. It's gonna be days you can do it. However it goes, I'm never gonna drag you down. I'm always gonna lift you up. So when we talk about peer pressure, that's what I mean. You know, it's trying to make your friends do things that are not cool. It's not fun. It's not worth it. It's just not worth it. What are the effects of peer pressure? You ultimately end up getting in trouble. So use the example, skipping school. What happens when you skip school? One, your parents end up finding out. Now you're in trouble. Two, you done probably skip school. So that means you done missed some assignments at school. You know, now it becomes a domino effect and things start to happen. That's not cool. You know, other things that can happen with peer pressure. Again, we can talk about this legally, but that's a bigger picture. But we do know legally you can get in trouble when it comes to peer pressure. So like smoking, drinking. You're not old enough to smoke and drink. So you got your friends like, girl, yeah, just hit that. Girl, I mean, you know. Or you want to make your little twerk video. It's not cool. It's not cool. Don't do it. Because the effects, the long-term effects of this becomes, that's out there now. Now you're in trouble. You understand what I'm saying? So let's make sure we are very conscious of what we put out and how we do this with each other. Let's not force each other to do negative things, okay? We're better than that, right? Because we're smart girls. And we're smart guys. So we got it. So, social media. So here's the big one. So this is the one we finna sit down. We finna talk for a minute, okay? Just give me a second. Bear with me, right? Because I understand this is the time that we live in. Everybody has cell phones. Everybody has computers and all these smart gadgets and all this good stuff. So this is where we hang out. In my day, we actually went outside. So I think y'all feeling that too now with the quarantine, right? Now y'all get to feel like we feel. You either can go outside or you couldn't. What it feel like to be stuck in the house right now? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway. But because we are stuck in the house, right? You all have a lot of time to play on the computers now. You have a lot of time to just, jam on the one with your smartphones. You back and forth, you TikTok and just, hey. Y'all get to do all the little videos about what we're putting out there. And I really want to make that a point. I too have social media. I enjoy social media. I think it is a great tool if it's used in the proper way. But there are moments when that tool can become trouble. And like I said, it's when you get on there, and let's go back to bullying. We keyboard thugging, as y'all call it, where you keyboard thugging and you talking about somebody on the next page, you done read their stuff and you don't like what they said, or that's so-and-so boyfriend, or that's so-and-so, and y'all back and forth exchanging words. You keyboard thugging. Stop it. It's not cool. If you don't like what somebody's saying, move on. Delete them off your page. Whatever you got to do, don't let what someone else doing affect what you do and affect how you move, right? Because, again, you keyboard thug, and guess what? That's being tracked. Every time you type something in his sin, it's being tracked. And now it's in cyber world, right? This is called cyberbullying, people. And again, we find that people are killing themselves because of cyberbullying. And the world sees it. So at this point, it's not just your group of friends, right? It's your friends, their friends, their friends, their friends, and it's a cycle of friends, and it branches out, and now you went viral. Or like these fights y'all like to post. Stop posting fights. It's not cool. As soon as somebody arguing, here come the camera phones out. That's not cool. That's bullying. Even if you don't think it's bullying because now you got the camera and you basically egging it on. That's also peer pressure. You with the camera, now you might not be the one that's actually bullying, but you with the camera, to me that is, that's not cool. It's not funny and it's not cool, okay? So, again, when we're talking about social media, be careful, be careful, be careful, be careful. So let's talk about some etiquettes. Let's talk about some things we can do. to make sure that we keep ourselves safe, right, while we're online. One, be careful about what you're putting out there. Ladies, we ain't got to twerk. We ain't got to twerk online. Some things are not for social media. That's one of them. Don't get me wrong. I know we like to dance. I like to dance too. And hey, you know, bow, bow. I like to do all that too. However, I'm not going to do it in the camera. I'm not going to do it in the camera and hit send so the world can see. Some things are just between you and your girlfriends or you and your guy friends or whatever. Everything does not belong on the camera. Don't upload it. Do not hit send because guess what? It's stuck. When you put it out there, it's out there. And you can't take it back. Even if you delete it, guess what? It's still out there. You deleted it off your little system, but it's already in cyber world. It can be tracked, okay? So that's one thing. So watch what you put out there. Watch how you talk to people when you're online. So something you can do. Here's my challenge to you. This is my big challenge. So at the end of all of this, after we've had our conversation, I want you all to do what's called a digital scrub. And this is part of social media etiquette, right? So what's a digital scrub? Digital scrub is you actually going through your social media accounts. So whether it's Snapchat, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whatever else I can think of. I mean, it's so many. But go through and see what you've been posting. And start from the very beginning of when you first had the account up until now. If it doesn't align with who you say you are and who you say you want to be and the direction in which you're trying to go, delete it. Because guess what? If I go on Facebook and I can find you, I can, and if your page is not private or, you know, your settings are not the way they typically are, I can go down that timeline in 2015 might not be the same 2020 person you are, right? That's two different people. But 2015, you were real immature. You was cussing and you know, you doing all that. In 2020, that's not the same person. But guess what? I'm coming on because I'm trying to get you a scholarship, right? You apply for a scholarship. I want to see what type of person you are. Guess what? I can find out based off your social media page. Or you want a job. I'm going to go to your social media page to see what type of person you are. What do you put out in the world? What does the world know about you? What do you say to the world? This is who I am. So that's why I'm saying, let's get to the point where we can digital scrub our accounts, right? So if you can go down your account, that's today's assignment. At the end of this, I need you to digital scrub your social media accounts. And it's something I do too. So I don't want you to feel like this is just a kid thing. It's not. Adults have to do it too. The person I am in 2020 is not the same person I was in 2015. Life has happened in between now and then, and my perspective has changed. The same with you. Even now, we're in quarantine, and before, you all couldn't wait to go to spring break. Now, you can't wait to go back to school. Your perspective has changed, right? You ready to see your friends. You ready to get back popping and cracking. You ready to do what you normally do, right? That's what I mean by you're not the same person. And when we get ready to go back to school, you're not going to be the same person you were when you left before quarantine, and you shouldn't be, okay? So that was all to say, again, this is Miss Brandy just letting you know when it comes to bullying, when it comes to peer pressure, when it comes to social media, we have to be careful, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, we have to pay attention to ourselves. We have to pay attention to what we're putting out in the world. We cannot be the problem. We have to be the solution, okay? That's what Smart Girls is about, and that's what the Boys and Girls Club of Greater St. Louis is about. We're about solutions. We are not the problem, okay? So again, get your digital scrub on, and I will catch you next time. Peace.